With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate.
This is Red Lantern Russell from
Tomes of Evil,
and you're listening to Sector 2814, a Green Lantern podcast.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
No evil shall escape my sight.
but those who worship evil's might.
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back. Or should I say, ho ho ho, welcome back to Christmas and this will probably hit July, so welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil, joining as always, Master of the Core it is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And he's a jolly man with a beard, but no, it is not Santa. It is.
This is Matt. Hi, everybody. Ho ho ho.
Oh, Christmas in July.
Now I have a machine gun. Alright, so I don't know, any pressing business we have to discuss, because we kind of were talking a little bit a few days ago when we did the Quantum Zone annual. If you're listening to this on the podcast, it's up already, so scroll down.
Yeah, go check out our maybe our future annual podcast, because I had fun recording it. We kind of got sidetracked. I actually think I had more fun talking about old annuals and memories of that. If we had a more structured approach to that, it'd be a whole different spin-off show, the annual show. But check it out.
I was gonna say, if you guys one day, if you want to even do something for the Patreon, we could do a special just on annuals or something, you know.
Yeah.
And on Patreon, we can swear, so Matt Koenig can really let us know how he feels about those
Oh,
annuals.
yeah. You got it.
That's, you know, those freaking,
Yeah, there will be no flarks dropped on that one. Or we could talk about the frackin' Lobo annual or something.
Nice.
I've never read a Lobo annual. I just assumed that there was one.
Neither have I. I think there's got to be one.
Yeah.
Early 90s, there had to have been a Lobo annual.
Yeah. That would be cool, though. Like, I mean, it's not like the wording is kind of, the idea I'm about to pitch to you is kind of, purposely clumsy. But if we did a show on Patreon called The Monthly Annual Show, that's pretty good, right?
Nice, yeah. The monthly annual show.
The monthly annual.
Is that better than the annual monthly show? I don't know. They're both equally confusing, which I like.
Awesome. Let's see. I think I haven't read it yet, but Far Sector.
Yes.
Farscape is a totally different animal. Far Sector 12 came out, I think, last week, and didn't Green Lantern number 3 come out as well too?
It might have been a few weeks ago, but yeah.
A few weeks ago.
They're out, yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 has been out.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that we're kind of living in a Green Lantern golden age. I think, for the last several years. I mean, well,
since gold is gold is yellow, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Well, there are multiple. I mean, sort of like the era that we're talking about. There are multiple Green Lantern titles on the shelves. Maybe not ongoing, because I think that that Future State one was only a 2-issue thing.
And Far Sector just ended.
Yeah, and what's it's like? I haven't read this one, but I've seen it on the shelves. It's like Green Lantern Season 2.
Yeah, that was before this current series. That was the Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp kind of I guess they basically did 24 issues of Green Lantern. The first season was 12 issues, and there was a 3-issue mini between them, and then 12 more issues. And that was really the only Green Lantern going on during that time, right, Phil?
Okay.
Yeah,
and then they rebooted the title. Yeah.
Well, did you see that today? There was an article, I guess Grant Morrison, he's doing like a, I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 issues. It's like a Superman and the Authority miniseries. And then after that, I guess he said he's taking a long break from DC, so. Cool.
His Green Lantern season 1 was really, really good. I haven't read season 2 yet, but I mean it's Grant Morrison. So sometimes that's awesome, sometimes it's confusing, but
right. But it's always it points eyes to it.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Russell wanted to know if we consider doing a bonus episode talking about the Green Lantern animated movies.
That might be cool. Maybe. The animated series is awesome.
I mean, we're still like far from it, but like I already have plans for 50. But maybe like next year, if like for 75 and 100, maybe like we'll do something like that.
Divisible by 25.
Yeah, exactly. See if I can find a way to make the episode art holographic, or look like foil or something.
Foil stamp.
Yeah.
Or
can you do a die cut podcast?
Oh, nice. Open up the front. Oh, there's Matt Kona.
Glow in the dark. We need glow in the dark.
Yeah. Or I came across one the other day that I hadn't seen before. It was like you rub. I don't even know what the technology. I know that's probably the wrong word, but it was like you rub the blood on the cover and it disappears and then reappears or something. I don't know.
Heat changing. If you get it warm, it disappears and then it goes. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
like the coffee mugs. No, there was one. I know a few years ago. I think Harley Quinn had like a scratch and sniff cover.
Wow.
Or like I don't know if it was in the issue. I forget, but yeah. So they're always looking for new. There's a thing for I don't know if I have time for a monthly show, but maybe like quarterly. Kona, start working on ideas what you'd want to cover. Maybe like quarterly, like every 3 months or so. We could do like the quarterly annual or something.
Yeah, the annual quarterly show.
Oh, nice.
Quarterly annual show. I don't know. It works both ways, Matt. You were right.
Yeah. Or we could just do it once a year and call it the annual show. But I don't know.
Oh, no. I was going to say, if we do it like every 3 months, we could be like, Green Lantern Corps quarterly. We could be like Capes quarterly, the Capes quarterly annual show.
Yeah. Now only 50 cents.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's quarterly. Yeah.
Double sized.
2 quarters. Yeah.
So yeah, start making up a list of what you know what? If we do that,
give us some suggestions.
Yeah,
let's get the content going.
Yeah. I know. In the Quantum Zone annual, we were talking about like the the ones where you get like 3 or 4 annuals as like its own little event. Maybe starting off each time we'll do like one of those events. Hey, this one had 4 annuals, or this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Matt Kona has some of his preferences because the words system bites kept coming up in our conversation.
Really? Yeah.
And that's bites spelled with a Y, I believe.
Yes. System does bite. Yeah.
Hey, Matt Kona's not going to read no unhip 90s annual crossover.
Oh, actually, I have a question for you guys. You're, up in what I consider the frozen tundra. It's not so frozen at the moment, is it?
No,
got to 90 here today, Will. No, not quite so frozen.
Yeah, it was in the 90s today, too. And then it rained for like 5 minutes, which just made it feel like soggy and
humid. It's humid now.
Super humid, yeah.
Yeah, we call that the air that you wear down here. Sticks.
I like that. I like that's good wordplay. I like it.
Hey, at least it's not the West Coast, man. Their days are hitting 110, 113 or something.
Yeah, wow. I heard it was over 100 degrees in Oregon today, which seems like I feel like it should always be a little bit chilly in the Pacific Northwest, but evidently not the case.
The old man talking about the weather again, just like we were on the Quantum Zone. Which you should scroll down and listen
to. Now for the Kids on the Lawn report, we go to Will. Yeah.
It's freaking hot
Hang
down
on.
here.
I got to put my socks on and my slippers. So 1 second.
Yeah.
But no, I know they were saying like in Portland and stuff, like a lot of those people, it usually doesn't get like that hot. So a lot of those people didn't even have like air conditioners and stuff.
Oh, that's insane.
I know.
And something I saw that I hadn't really considered is that they're so far north that, cause I'm down here in the south. So, the nights are, 8 hours, but they're so far north that the nights are only like 6 hours. So, it doesn't give everything time to cool down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no
It's
good.
nuts. And Portland, Seattle, I mean, there's a lot of comics creators, I think, that live kind of up in that area. I mean, a huge amount. I think Dark Horse is, that's where its offices are, is up in Portland or Seattle. So, yeah, it's hot out there. Be careful. Be careful, people.
So yes, it's hot as you know what out there, everywhere, pretty much in the country.
Except down here in the south, it's not too bad.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, I mean, just 80-something today, I think.
That's not too bad, yeah.
I mean, it's still humid, but it's not.
I mean, it's supposed to get like 84, I think, here tomorrow. It's supposed to rain, so then, it's going to go down a little bit, so.
But it's not 115 freaking degrees outside. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ray's down there shoveling snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, shut up, you guys.
That's so weird, man. Yeah, like they get like snow at this time of year. Then he's like during Christmas time. He's like, if it's nice out, we like barbecue outside for Christmas. And
I'm at the beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbecuing some of that kangaroo meat for Christmas.
Yeah.
I thought that
Well,
was
you said Christmas. We're coming back. We're getting back on track, right?
Oh, nice! Yes.
That's all right.
I think I planned that. All right, so should we jump into these?
You bet.
All right. All right, let's get to the elephant in the room first. Green Lantern 36. Will, did you remember this once you reread it?
Vaguely, yeah. I mean, I really like the art. Gene Ha is a really awesome artist.
Yeah. Oh, I had no problem with the art. No. All right. Yeah, it's just like a one or two. I don't have a big synopsis for this or the other Christmas one, so I'll do that real quick and then we'll discuss it. Cover date February 1993, so yeah, it probably came out, released sometime in December.
Really? It would come out 2 months early?
I'm pretty sure.
Cover
Isn't that
date?
the way it went?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was 2 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think, yeah.
I didn't realize it would be that much ahead. I don't know. But I mean, it's not really a common thing nowadays to put the month on the front of the book, so it's kind of hard to reference it.
Yeah, they usually hide it down in the indicia or, inside the book or something like that.
Yeah.
Try not to age
Good
themselves
point.
or something.
Yeah.
All right, the title, The Ghost of Christmas Light. Writer Gerard Jones and Joe Felice. Penciler Gene Ha. Anchor Romeo Tangle. Colorist Anthony Tullen. Letterer Albert de Guzman. And editor Kevin Dooley and Eddie Berganza. Dr. Light crashes a Jordan family Christmas party and Carol proposes to Hal. There you go. There's your summary.
And that's what happens.
Pretty much.
The Jordan family Christmas party, and they had some real weird decorations around on the tree too.
I know, this thing is just...
I mean, the cover is outstanding. I really like the what they did with it, and you see a Batman ornament and a Gnort ornament too. So.
And hey, who's the best Green Lantern?
A Gnort ornament. Gnort.
Oh!
No, it's Guy Gardner. They mentioned that several. The other kids were like, Guy Gardner's the best.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I was like, shut up, I'm taking your presents back. I know, just him getting attacked by the tree.
Yeah. And it's yellow light,
I know. Yeah, because it opens up with him and Carol flying up to...
And I had forgotten, I guess we were kind of talking about the whole issue at once, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to send him to the central power battery. I'm like, wait, why does that sound like a bad idea? That just sounds like a bad idea.
Hey, he gets sucked up in the Hal's battery and shot into the central power battery where he is never seen again until Green Lantern 80 when he pops out of Cal Rainer's battery. So So yes, we'll see Dr. Light again in Green Lantern 80. You know, I say that now because we'll probably forget. I'll be like, hey guys, remember when I said that back in 36? Conan will be like, no.
44 issues later.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember that feature thing. Yeah.
We'll have to have an editor's note in when we do that issue in the podcast.
And I had never read
see the Christmas in July special.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'll be like, scroll down all the way back to episode 22. Yeah.
22, that's right.
But no, Dr. Light makes a reference to Suicide Squad 50. Was that 52?
Yeah. Had you guys read that? I had
never read that before, but when I reread this, I jumped on DC Universe Infinite to read it. It's weird. I guess Dr. Light had been killed in Suicide Squad. You know, shocking. And I guess there was another guy with like his. Trying to be Dr. Light too with like his equipment and stuff, and they were like both dead, and I guess they were in hell, and like this demon was like kept trying to send them back. The first time Dr. Light comes back, he wakes up in his coffin and he can't break out, and he basically dies again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like some really dark humor. And then like the second time he comes back, his spirit comes back in the body of the female Dr. Light. Will.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually.
So that's a laugh riot.
Oh yeah, eventually gets his own body back. Then he's like begging Amanda Waller. He's like, "Put me back on this squad," and she's like, "No, we don't want you. Get out of here.
You're dead."
Because it seemed weird. Because like he had like his body back, so I don't know why he seems like just pure energy in this thing. Unless there was another appearance they didn't,
reference. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell. I mean, I'm not familiar with the character. I didn't know if that was always like his default, that he is light, not just a clever name. But
well, it's like the whole thing with Dr. Light is weird. Will, I assume you read Identity Crisis?
A long time ago, yes.
I mean, basically, yeah. Dr. Light used to be this big villain, Matt, and then like all of a sudden, like he just became like kind of a joke, and like even like the Teen Titans were like kicking his butt and stuff, and like so what is that, early 2000s in Identity Crisis, they revealed it's because he had basically snuck into the Justice League satellite. He raped Elongated Man's wife, and was like
Sue Dibney, yeah,
yes, and basically just screaming, "Oh yeah, I'm if I find anybody." The rest of you, hey, Flash, is that a wedding ring? Oh, I'm gonna find your way, and just like blathering on, and like the league's just like saying, they're debating, we should just, Hawkman's like, we should just kill him, and so the rest of them are like, no, so they get Zatanna to like mind wipe him, basically lobotomize him with magic. But then Batman shows up, he wants to stop them, but then they will erase Batman's memory, which I guess for a while they were saying that's why Batman doesn't trust anybody, because on some level they remembered them erasing his memory and stuff.
Not one of these.
Do you think they erased his memory? Do you think they erased his memory and he forgot how to clean himself, and that's why Batman smells and Robin made an egg? Just stick with the holiday.
Christmas in July.
Back to the theme. Yeah. Wow, yes. Hollywood Kona, man. Yes. All right, but enough with Dr. Light. Okay, so
yeah, I mean, this issue as a whole, I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with Will's repressed memory of it. I don't know. Like, the cover was cool, and the art and the inside was cool. The story and the action and the family dynamic left me kind of wanting more. Maybe it's just overshadowed because I really liked the Mosaic Christmas issue so much more, because I like collecting Christmas covers of comics. Whenever I see one in a bin, I usually pull it. I've never come across this one in a bin, but yeah, I don't know. Like I like to read them around the holidays. I know we're all sweating and reading this now, but there were some good moments. But I don't know. It seemed like a lot of dialogue, and I don't know, it just didn't really pay off as much for me. But whatever. I guess they're planting seeds down the road, 50 issues down the road or so,
which completely get derailed in about 12 issues. So there we go.
Yeah, because that's just so funny when Dr. Light eventually pops back out and Kyle Rayner's standing there. He's like, "Where? How long have I been in there?"
Yeah. Who are you? Is it Boxing Day now? It's the day after Christmas.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow. Sorry, that's a Futurama.
And I'd forgotten. I guess that's like a Silver Age thing, Will, where they thought, like the wife and everything thought Hal's brother was Green Lantern and not Hal.
Yeah, I don't remember reading those. I mean, I'm sure it's in the archive back there, but I didn't make it up to those stories. Green Lantern got kind of goofy there for a while, in the 60s, I believe. And, then we got the Hard Traveling Heroes, the Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams stuff.
Yeah.
And then, Hal was a toy. After that, Hal was a toy salesman, an insurance salesman, and it's just all weird, kind of, But then we got some great, even like the 180s, we got Alan Moore and Dave Gibbon backups in Green Lantern, which are just awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that Hal Jordan, I mean, he's had so many jobs. Wasn't there one point in the 70s he was like giving tours of Boston, like dressed up in weird costumes?
That would.
I think
there is it. You're kind of putting the cart before the horse, because I did especially like the tour guide storyline that we're going to get.
Oh, nice!
Yeah.
Oh, but okay.
Or you're putting the reindeer before the sleigh, I should say.
There we go. That's on point.
Wait, no, the sleigh before the reindeer. Okay. I was trying to make the analogy Christmassy, but oh well.
But yeah, I mean, then they, to place this in history, Hal's thinking about, Superman 76, where all the heroes were, the Superman.
He actually has the armband on, doesn't he?
Yeah.
When he's fighting. Yeah.
He does. Yeah. And they talk about it over, awkward family conversation.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, a lot of people around this time had the armband, because I remember like there was at least an issue or two of Batman where like Batman's got the armband on and stuff. Yeah.
Guy Gardner doesn't have it though.
No, he doesn't. He and Big Blue didn't get along.
Doesn't go in my leather jacket and cowboy boots.
Yeah, no.
Oh my lord. Okay, but again, do we have another moment here that rivals the yellow lamp and the yellow safe? Hal's basically like, I can't get through the yellow Christmas lights on this string.
Oh man.
Yes.
I guess you could say like Dr. Light's like amplifying stuff, but it's just like.
But it's kind of goofy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you really can't slice your way. Even if that was the case, couldn't you like slice your way out of like the non-yellow lights? Maybe.
When they fall, right?
And the cord isn't yellow, right? It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, and he eventually cuts the cord rather than just pull it out of the wall, which is probably going to start another argument amongst family members. You can't just replace the cord. Now I'm going to buy all new lights, honey.
And hey, he was cutting the cord long before it was hip, to cut your cable and stream.
Exactly. And then another future thing, I think later, a twittering machine is mentioned.
Yes!
Mosaic. Yeah.
And it's funny because everybody
We're all
hates...
sorts of ahead of the curve. Yeah.
Oh my lord. So is Dr. Light from your neck of the woods, Will? My solid light beam still has the kick of a Missouri mule.
I guess. I don't know.
I've heard of a Moscow mule. Is that just the anti-communism American alternative? I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now give it to me or die in yellow agony.
Yikes.
So yeah, like I said, Hal sucks Dr. Light up in his battery, which shunts him to the central power battery, I guess. Which is weird, because it's like, spoilers. I mean, he blows up the central battery in 50, but then Dr. Light comes... I guess, a bunch of energy just got shunted into what becomes Kyle Rayner's battery, and then...
Well, and that's a good question. Kyle's ring, is it ever established whose ring that is, or is that a brand new ring that nobody ever had before?
I mean, we'll get to that in Emerald Twilight, but I believe, remember, Hal steps on and crushes his ring, and then Ganthet, picks up the pieces and, kind of...
Oh, okay.
Because I'm pretty sure, even, the 0 hour issue, Hal gets that ring on, spoilers, gets that ring on his hand again. He's like, oh, I recognize this ring. This is my ring. It looks different, but it's like, this is my ring.
Well, then that actually makes sense, because I'm wondering if the Guardians just left him trapped in the battery.
Oh, yeah.
And then that would make sense, because the ring's paired with the battery, and then Kyle gets the battery in the ring. We just figured out something that we are not going to have to worry about for 44 more issues.
Not at least Emerald Twilight in the fall, issue 80, sometime next year.
Yeah. Same Green Lantern time, same Green Lantern channel.
Okay, just for the ridiculousness of this all, I mean, did you guys enjoy this issue? You know, maybe just because, it's so weird.
The Mosaic one?
No, this
is
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was all right. In terms of the ones that we're discussing today, I think it's the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Well, for me, kind of.
You know, I think I enjoyed this one because it didn't seem as unnecessarily wordy as sometimes this writer's work can be.
Yeah.
And the art was nice. So, but the story wasn't, anything. I mean, obviously I'd completely forgotten I'd read it. So there you go.
What, you remember our hero getting entangled in Christmas? The big menace is getting entangled in Christmas lights.
It's a good thing that there was not a yellow lamp there. It had just been all over.
A giant yellow ornament or something. It's better than
Christmas
lights. All right, so should we get to the other Christmas issue before we get to the rest of the Mosaic ones? All right. So again, like I said, this one has like another small synopsis. So, all right. So the other Christmas issue was Green Lantern Mosaic number 9. Again, February 1993. Merry Mosaic. Same writer. Gerard Jones, Joe Felice, penciler Jim Ballant and Mark Beecham. Inker Jim Ballant and Mark Beecham. Oh, so the pencilers and also.
Yeah, I think Jim Ballant penciled and inked the first page, and then Mark Beecham penciled and inked the rest of the pages. At least that's kind of what it looked like to me, but I'm not 100% certain of that.
Yeah. Colorist Steve Matson, letterer Albert de Guzman, editors Kevin Dooley and Eddie Berganza. Yeah, I just hear Jim Ballant. All I think is like 90s Catwoman with like
Catwoman,
giant basketballs. Yeah. All right, so again, another short synopsis. John Stewart brings the various species of the Mosaic world together to celebrate their respective winter holidays.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
It, yes.
That's it. That's, I feel like they could have gone a little deeper, but I'm not. I mean, whoever is devoting their time to writing summaries of comic books that came out close to 30 years ago, it's a thankless job, so I'm not going to give them too much time.
Again, it's on the internet. I don't know how long ago it was written, but yeah.
So, I have a favorite part, but I'm actually, one little tiny favorite part that I really like about this issue, but I'm curious to see what Matt thought.
Yes.
I mean, overall, I thought it was fun. I mean, at the cover, they do a clever thing, turning the barcode into a tag for an ornament as well. But I just love how much of a Scrooge John Stewart is, and when he has to tell the story of Christmas, he just sort of throws in a bunch of holiday cliches and sprinkles in a little bit of "It's a Wonderful Life" in there, and
Dickens.
and the Taksushta tale is pretty great too. Let me just read that, just because it's just.
I was going to say one of us should read that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one morning in the deepest snow, Zookshnut stood in the threshold of his hut. He looked out and he saw only the white of the snow and the gray of the sky. He looked back in and saw the dark of his hut. Then he took a forward step onto the cold of the snow and he looked into the sky. And over his head, he saw a rainbow. That's it.
That's just a really nice package.
I thought you were going to say the one John Stewart did at the end.
Yeah,
where he threw
at the end.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Oh yeah,
once upon a time.
I referenced that, but
Okay.
I just love the other like different things too. Yeah,
Well,
you
no, he
read
just,
that. I'm not going
throws
to be doing all the
all
Christmas.
the like human Christmas things together. It's like once upon a time, a child was born, but he was an unhappy child and hoarded money to the detriment of his loyal employee. Then he found an old silk hat, and when he put it on his head, he began to dance around. Seeing this, Santa asked him to lead his sleigh, and the child believed that Santa was more than just a department store trick. He gave Christmas back to the children, and they all toasted him as the richest man in town. The end.
Yeah.
I thought that was just such a smushing together of so many different Christmas things.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
But the Will, do you want to complete the trilogy and read the just a quick Christmas only synopsis from page 10, the second row from the bottom of tell them what Christmas is about, John. Yeah, it's the nativity scene. It's the same page that the berserker is telling the little boy about severed limbs and fighting and killing to celebrate the holiday.
Page 10. Okay.
It's page 10 on the book. If you're looking online, it's page 12.
Oh, okay. A baby's born, beasts kneel, a king slaughters thousands of children, the baby grows up and is nailed to a cross.
That's it. What's up, Christianity?
I mean, it was really interesting because, you know, he keeps drawing the similarities between the stories and how they deal with, you know, hope, but also, you know, violence. And actually the violence is a thread that he continues on through, you know, 10, 11, and 12. You know, I think
yes, big time.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but it's also very weird because it's Mosaic, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, it's the holidays, but I want a drug test on John Stewart. I mean, some issues, he is like jacked. He is ripped here. He's like back down to like, you know, what we saw before Mosaic started. So, I you know.
Yeah. The rations on Mosaic aren't holding up.
Well, you know, he looks very, I think, and I don't know this for sure, but I think Beecham came out of like Neil Adams Continuity Studios. So he has kind of this Neil Adams-esque kind of look to him in places. But obviously it's not quite Neil Adams. It's different. But.
And then the issue ends with like, I was at Rose like, I'll get more eggnog. He's like, John Stewart's like, give me a Bloody Mary.
It goes with the outfit.
Yeah. One little thing to tie into my childhood. Salic, is that the name? The yellow, looks like this. What's the Academy Award trophy that holds the globe? It has a funny quote. He says, "Try again, slow butt," to berserker while hopping around on a pogo stick. Now, a pogo stick is something that I always asked for Christmas, and it was like I would ask several years in a row, and I eventually got one, but it was different. It was not the pogo stick that you see here, which is like handles. It had like a ring on it, and it was definitely for adults, and I was like too small to actually like press my weight down effectively to make it spring. So yeah, so oh well. I still haven't gotten over it. Thanks for bringing it up, Mosaic for 9.
Yeah, that was one of the pans, right? Because they ended up putting Christmas lights on Salac, right?
Yeah. Pan, yeah.
So
anyway, I thought this was a much more fun Christmas issue than the last one. But I did like the themes of holidays, celebrating, and violence is really what unites all the many different cultures on the Mosaic. Yeah, kind of a dark silver lining.
At least it's better than a superhero battling a string of Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Both written by the same guy. Or
yeah, busy man.
And Guy Gardner got no Christmas issue.
That's right.
I think he spent Christmas in Vegas, didn't he? We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
All right. Anything else on this one, or should we get to the next one, the tour guide one?
Yeah, let's move it along. Now boarding.
All right. Another quick synopsis, and then we're gonna have to find at least like maybe a page of dialogue for Kona to live read, maybe.
Yeah, he says some things that I say. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. All right. So yes, Green Lantern Mosaic 10 from March 1993. Writer Gerard Jones, Joe Felice, penciler Cully Hamner. Inkers.
Yeah, is it a different artist for this one?
Yeah.
I don't have the credit.
Yeah, we're back to the normal. Yeah, Cully is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inker Dan Panosian and John Floyd, colorist Steve Matson, letterer Albert de Guzman, and editors Kevin Dooley and Eddie Berganza. And this one, Ways to Go. And the synopsis just says, John takes the Guardians on a tour of the Mosaic world to show them his progress. The end. All right, so...
Yeah, page 4 of the book is perfect. I mean, it's pattern. He's got this snappy pattern going on, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, what, when he pulls up the bus?
Yeah, when he pulls up the bus. And you notice he's wearing a hat, too.
Yep. Like a conductor hat, sort of.
Yep.
It's funny because, so there are, I don't say these word for word, but I usually say, how's everyone doing? And then you get a half-assed kind of response. I go, oh, okay, I'll try to match your enthusiasm. And he says, boy, the enthusiasm in this crowd is really tremendous. Just out of curiosity, how many people in this bus speak English? I don't say that. I would probably get in trouble, but we do have translation devices on the duck. So I mean, I asked, does anyone need headphones? It essentially is asking who doesn't speak English. And there's been times where everyone has raised their hand, and I'm like, all right, great. So this is just for me. But I stick with the script in case some people do understand. I can't just plug my podcast and make fun of people's outfits the whole time. But
you say, and please no flash photography?
No.
Translation device.
That'd be great. No photos, everyone, on this tour.
Translation device, meaning he just speaks louder. Can you understand me now?
Yeah, I do say please remain seated at all times and keep your arms inside the vehicle.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
it's a nice looking tour bus he's got there, though. I'm a little jealous. And he goes over the water. It doesn't go into it, but
yeah, it flies too, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And again, it's mostly him showing, and we get a big thing about a bunch of these alien races. So I mean,
and a map, right?
Oh,
That's in this system.
Yeah.
Where's the map? I don't remember seeing the map.
It's in the middle. What page?
It's like right in the middle because that's where like the staples actually come through on the other side. Yeah, it's like right in the middle. Okay,
it's computer page 13. Yeah.
Gotcha. I remember that now. Yeah,
with the
yellow zone, impenetrable chlorine storms and tornadoes. Yeah. This would make a fun board game. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God! There's a special. We need to make a board game of this, and then they play that like on here. Yeah.
John's pad is in the center, just surrounded by sand.
I like.
Gonna label the
it says, "Clip and save for future reference," and John's there smiling at you.
Oh man, I would have loved it if he just like passed this out to the Guardians before this. You know, there's some coupons in the back if you want to visit the sleepers or the hungries or the delicates, the weary ones. Who has the least amount of real estate in the Mosaic? It's the tinies probably, or the clergy birds. They don't have that much either.
Boy, like some of the names on these you know, like Kono mentioned, the twittering machines, and then above them are the three ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then, look, kind of above.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Well, above and to kind of to the left of the three ways is the crab dancers.
Hey, up above the Malthusians.
Spend enough time in a three-way, you're going to get crabs. So I guess that was the implied thing. I just had to bury it home. Sorry.
Up above the Malthusians, you've got a fun guy. He must be a real blast to hang around, since he's such a fun guy. Sorry.
But I mean, look at some of these names. I mean, it's Beaver,
the hors d'oeuvres.
Beaver Junction. There's one, Kissers.
Yeah, it's
Sleepers.
underneath Mr. and Mrs. because, you're married.
Get it?
You don't make out as much.
Bubble Knots, Hungries. We visit the homeboys, which are actual homes.
Yes.
Stiff Necks.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Wait
What
a
are
minute.
the...
Wait a minute. That down in like the right corner, the we and the we is in quotation. The we, shouldn't they be like right next to the yellow chlorine cloud?
Yeah.
The cloud.
Hey, and they turn blue if you... All right.
Oh yeah, if you go to the yellow cloud, yeah, it turned blue.
Well, welcome to our ool. Notice there's no P in it. Let's keep it that way. That's like their population sign. When you drive in.
That is a cool map. That is.
I could talk this map all day. This is probably the best map discussion we've had since the Project Pegasus episode of the
Quantum Zone. Yeah,
Quantum Zone a while back. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, you don't get a lot of maps anymore, but yeah, for you kids who say you don't get enough, for your money, yeah, $1.25 bulk. Not only do you get a map, you got a lot of text in this, which because I mean, he's basically showing the Guardians, yeah, this is this race and blah blah blah. We're doing this here, and so yeah, lots of talking and shows.
Lots of text, yes, heavy text.
Big time.
All right, Mr. Tour Guide, anything else on this one?
No, I liked it. I just liked it. Back to back mosaics that have pandered to my sensibilities. So, violence,
Perfect.
Christmas, tour guides, silly map jokes. I like it. Yeah.
Again,
Hit you right in the sweet spot.
I was going to say, what is this? Mosaic 10 or inside Kona's head?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's also, it's bringing up the overarching, I guess, point of Mosaic. Like, hey, when are these places going back? Like, what's going on? Let's get the ball rolling, Guardians. And he actually shows them around, and I thought it moved the plot ahead, but it also kind of acted as a nice little side adventure thing too.
But yeah, like you said, John's like, okay, see, we're doing good. So when are you sending these home? And then John gets to the kick to the planetoids, and it's like, oh, you're doing too good of a job for us to send them home yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's kind of disappointing that we don't really get much in the way of, if I'm remembering correctly, we don't get much in the way of resolution for Mosaic, because...
Oh, yeah, they kind of cut it short because Emerald Twilight.
It just gets kind of chopped off, and suddenly the Mosaic's gone, and everybody's home, and it's all groovy, I guess, so...
I mean, we'll get more John in Dark Stars, but...
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get there, because I never really read Dark Stars.
I read a few of the first few issues, I think, because that's where, Travis Charest, or however you say his last name, kind of got his start. So he's pretty awesome artist.
Yeah, so once we get to the Dark Star stuff, I'm going to be coming at it with fresh eyes, just like man over there. I know John was in there and Dawn and Troy, but beyond that, only time I really read that Dark Stars when they were in someone else's book.
Yeah, I think I only read the first 4 or 5 issues. So if we go past that, then it'll be new stuff for all of us.
John gets a new job right away.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So should we jump to 11?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
This goes to 11.
Thank you, Spinal Tap. All right. So let's see. Green Lantern Mosaic number 11, April 1993. I Am Myself, Mosaic. By writers Gerard Jones and Joe Felice. So it seems like Jones is having another writer on this with him. So I wonder what the deal was here. It's just the workload.
Guy needs a break. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I think in the letter columns he said he just had a baby.
Oh.
if I remember, in one of the letter columns. So he was going to stop answering the Mosaic mail personally because he didn't have time for it anymore. He had to cut it out. I think maybe that was in 9 or 10. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's fitting that this issue is all about parental relationships, too.
Yeah.
Yes. Penciler Mitch Bird. Inker John Floyd. Colors Steve Matson. Letterer Albert Guzman. And then editors Eddie Berganza, Kevin Doley. We know that. All right. So this one. John Stewart awakens in his childhood house. He is in his Green Lantern costume, but is in child form when talking to his father and mother and everyone else he encounters from his past. He has lingering questions for his mother dealing with her. Dealing with her cancer, which she replies with an answer dealing with religion. It's the next day as he goes on to school with childhood friends, and while they talk about baseball, he's pondering other things. He then arrives at his grandmother's and asks her about his grandfather, who walks in the door with a knife in his heart. Okay. John then asks him about the family lore, as well as how a woman stabbed him in the heart because she loves him too much. But he has John follow him to expose what really happened, and it wasn't a woman that stabbed him, but he was stabbed by thugs. And they make it a point that the white man had nothing to do with it. He's then called to by Green Lantern Chip, who has him get up in a tree and talk. John goes on to tell Chip he's sorry he let him die, and that it was Sinestro that showed his evil, and asks Chip if he's upset. Chip replies no. After more talking and climbing to the highest point on the tree, Ganthic comes and talks to John and has him sing a song. I'll build a stairway to paradise with a step every day.
Wait, I thought it was Old Timer, not Ganthic.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, this says Ganthic, but I think it's wrong. Yeah, it wasn't an Old Timer. Yeah, because that's the one who's like, quote unquote stuck
that's in his head. Yeah.
But yeah, so you sing, I'll build a stairway to paradise with a step every day, in which stairs appear before John, and he ascends them till he comes to what seems to be a ship from Cap Matui's homeworld, and is forced to open the door without assistance from, the Old Timer. At which point the dream ends and he awakens from his sleep. Though as he sits up, the image of Chip appears and says, John, your head has been touched. You must keep walking, but you have to open your door, John. That's the nut you have to crack. Okay.
Didn't he call them soul nuts? Which I think is just awesome.
Soul nuts. Yeah. That's a merchandise tie-in waiting to happen.
Could have been worse. It could have been like, John, your problems, these nuts.
Yeah. Soul nuts. Come on, they predated rap snacks.
Soul nuts. All right, so what do we think?
I like this issue a lot too. I mean, it just, I'm embracing the weirdness and it's like they have fun, but also deal with deep-seated issues in John Stewart's past, whether it's that have to deal with death and losing loved ones and strained relationship, and like race plays a big part in it too, and the perception of where he feels he should be in the world, society, the galaxy, I should say, perhaps, and blaming himself for Chip's death, and the Chip kind of doesn't care. He's just like, yeah, whatever. No, we're in a tree. Anytime you want to come talk to me, anytime you're in the middle of a fever dream, come on down. I'm here for you.
I was going to say, they might not know when the end is coming at this point, but it seems like, you get like an action issue, or last issue you got like, the whole giving you information on the Mosaic, and then every so often, man, they take you back into John Stewart's head. So it's like, is it building towards the end that,
Well, and I think they talk about it in the letter column a little bit, hey, reports of our death have been exaggerated. We're not canceled yet. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's been so long. I don't remember what the final issue of Mosaic is like. So I'm looking forward to rereading these next 6 issues to see how it ends, because it's been so long. But maybe we get a little bit more of a send-off than I remember, at least in dim memory at this point.
Right.
Yeah, we were going to wrap up the rest of the Mosaic's next episode, but I just did next episode's only going to be 13, 14, and 15 because I'm going to save 16, 17, and 18 to closer to Emerald Twilight, which...
Gotcha.
That's when they kind of take place, and they did have an editor's... Because I was kind of reading ahead, and there was an editor's note for future Guy Gardner issues, so I was like, okay,
we'll put them off for the... Yeah.
War Mosaic. So, yeah. But yeah, interesting stuff. I mean, again, a lot of these issues, not a lot of action, but it's still, I think, good issue. Good issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still very engaging.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's doing a lot. The writer's doing a lot of really introspective type stuff with John, and it's extremely interesting. What he's doing. I don't know. I feel a little weird about the next issue, because it deals so much with race that just doesn't feel super authentic. It almost feels, feels weird. So,
and I think we're kind of going to cliffhanger you until next week, kids.
Yeah.
All right. So should we get to that? Because
we're
almost at an hour. All right. So
yeah.
All right, so Green Lantern Mosaic number 12 from May 1993. Right, same writers. Cully Hamner, penciler again. Yeah, same. Rest of the team is the same. This one, Any Means Necessary. Let's see. Moses Rockwell holds a KKK rally. Yeah, kids. And plans to be returned to Earth. The Klan attacks the Weaver home because they have been housing aliens. But Green Lantern stops the Klansmen. And that's the synopsis.
And so much more.
Yeah.
Could be at the end of every Mosaic synopsis.
I know.
Always.
I mean, the cover kind of, it shows him sort of being burned at the stake. He's not on a burning cross, although there are crosses in the background and the entirety of it is in flames. But it's still pretty...
Is that supposed to be like a sword or something? Or
that's what I thought, but it looked like there's wings underneath it. I don't know if that was like an alien craft or something. Mm-hmm. It kind of looks like it's nailed to like the X, like the famous Wolverine being crucified on an X cover, the Weapon X or something. But
that's derivative.
Yeah. And then there's like the big splash page of the Klansmen in the middle on the page 7, I think it is. It's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that double splash? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he went there.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy this one from a reader's point of view as much as the last 3.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
Well, and Kat Matui shows up, in his dreams, and he wakes up from that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
he asked, I think, a good question through John. John's there to protect the cultures, right? Well, but if hate's a part of the culture, why should he protect it? Which I think it's an interesting question to ask, and I think the answer is, well, no, you don't, but. Maybe that's just too obvious. Maybe I'm too much of a leftist.
Yeah.
And I guess, as a part of his dream, to lighten it up, probably, we get the Minister X-Men.
Yes, that was one of the things that I was like, oh.
Right.
Kind of winced a little at that.
Yeah. Again, was that supposed to be like...
parody, satire?
Humor? Yeah.
I think like so. I think that they could like mess around with the format especially as it's pertained to like the last few issues. So they added a little bit of levity, I guess, to it. You get the other parts of the group: Black Prince, Michigan Slim, Frere Petite, High Top Fade, Sister Islam, a little cringe, but it's a little like having fun, sort of like a blaxploitation movie. Like these characters would be right at home. Although High Top Fade is ridiculous. His flat top is a giant fist. It's like Marge Simpson with an elbow. And he's also like very, I don't see any pouches, but the shoulder pads have shoulder pads on them. It's crazy.
I'm just waiting for the follow up. Non-humanoid mosaic residents can't jump.
Yeah.
But just like Minister X, I guess, is like Shazam and can say a magic word and chill.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he's ripping off these,
Yeah.
But yeah, just
And this one ends with a cliffhanger, so it's
that's right.
Kind of interesting.
That's right, kid. Yeah. The issue and this episode will end on a cliffhanger. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've
ever done that. The ultimate troll right then would have been for Phil to just end the show.
Good night.
Stop right
there. Stop.
Believing. Oh, and just for reference in the timeline, kids, yes, we got an ad for Nightfall Part 2.
Oh, wow. Is that Sam Keith doing, or is it Kelly Jones?
Looks like
Kelly Jones, I bet.
Kelly Jones, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you see the giant bat ears? Yes, that's Kelly Jones.
Yeah, that's Kelly Jones. I saw the giant, looked like the Max, so I was thinking, wait, that looks kind of like Sam Keith. But okay.
Yeah, that's a yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that Nightfall was so close on the heels of the death of Superman.
Oh yeah, I mean, Nightfall ran for a while before the the backbreaking, but it's like what was Death of Superman like towards the end of '92, and then I guess Nightfall must have started pretty quick in '93. So,
and
then 1994. Will
94? We're almost there. A very special episode of Blossom. Sorry.
I was like flipping through some of the issues. Like, what was it last night? Like, just trying to make sure the schedule was like right. And like issue 47, they're just like, oh yeah, you guys know about the the death of Superman, Nightfall. If you guys, if your issue's sold out, if your comic shop's full up, we're telling you now, pick up Green Lantern 48. There was like no other information. They're just like Emerald Twilight, be here. So yes, we are. This is where it all starts, kids. The age of the big events.
Oh man,
that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As we'll get to more
because this, I mean, in comics history, the what kind of spurred this is the DC briefly becoming the third biggest comic book company according to sales, behind 7 Image comic books.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why they killed Superman and broke Batman's back. They're just like, oh boy, that we can't let this happen. It's kind of an embarrassment.
Well, I believe that's when they did our precious Clone Saga too. Matt, is when they're like, oh, DC did Death of Superman and Nightfall. Yeah, we want something over here. So that's what that spurred on this Spider-Man Clone Saga.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Whatever. Ben Reilly, Spider-Man's clone. He's got a sweatshirt. Yeah, that's how you know he's different. And he's a blonde hair.
Yeah, and the Executioner song too, which we talked about, I think, on the annual episode. Things like that. Yeah, crossover mania.
Oh,
I mean, crossovers were a thing already, but DC and Marvel both had big flagship ones with Crisis on Infinity Earth and Secret Wars, of course. But then it was like, put up to 11, Spinal Tap, callback.
Yeah.
They did. But yeah, I just remember like when the death of Superman hit. I just remember watching the news. Like they had like cameras at like shops, with like big lines out the door, and just like women cry, be like, "Why they have to kill Superman? My baby loves Superman." Oh.
Well, and it kind of, I think it reached its zenith and then kind of died off after the amalgam comics, where all of DC and all of Marvel crossed over and merged with each other, and then which was kind of done before with the Image and Valiant, the Deathmate stuff back then. So I mean, it was crossover insanity, is what it was.
You mean when Wolverine gave Lobo the business?
Yeah. Speaking as a guy who likes to write books about crossovers, huh? That's weird.
Because they want to draw. You'll have to like record like a small feed. Just be like, I can hit the button and be like, speaking of which, pick up Crossover Division.
Yeah. By the way, Crossover Division. Go to crossoverdivision.com.
Number 2 is coming out soon.
That's right, on Friday. But back to Green Lantern. Sorry,
I was going to say, I think the big thing that that showed them what these big events could be is Death in the Family.
I don't know. That one was.
I mean, I think the general public's like, oh, they're not going to kill Robin. Then they killed a Robin, and everyone.
And then they killed Robin.
If people were reading comics, I think a lot of the general public thought they killed Dick Grayson. They were like, oh, they're there.
No, they just killed the guy that was robbing the hubcaps off the Batmobile.
Little jerk.
But, that was a pretty self-contained thing.
Yeah.
All in. That was just all in Batman, right?
Yeah,
just the Batman title.
Yeah, 4 issues in Batman. Yeah.
And it got a little bit of press. I keep thinking back to the Death of Superman.
They did that 900 number though too. So it was like,
But the Death of Superman hit just at. I mean, the timing was just. They lucked into a slow news day, right? And Superman's dead, and then it just went. It went viral before there was a viral.
Right.
There was a viral social network. It just went viral throughout the real networks, and everybody was like, "They're killing Superman," and all of us were like, "Yeah, but he'll be back in a few months." No, they're killing Superman! Oh my god!
I mean, we could talk events on the quarterly, annual, whatever we're doing too. Because I was going to say, you two get together, write up a synopsis. Let me know when and what you wanted to. We'll do it.
All right, we can make something.
We can make something happen.
I was going to say, again, maybe once every 3 months, and then I can tell Lilith, hey, every 3rd month you could take off. She'll be like, oh, thank God.
Party!
Or unless she wants to join us. It's always fun mixing, these two with Lilith Hellfire.
Yeah.
Eyeballs and kisses. I'm holding them in you.
All right. So should we get out of here? Is that enough of a cliffhanger?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. So yes, kids. Again, gonna leave you for I think the first time ever, even on the Quantum Zone. I don't think we ever left on a big cliffhanger, unless you counted Star Blast. But they probably hope we just didn't come back.
Just not come back. Yeah.
So yeah, probably the first true cliffhanger.
I have to comment on something.
Oh boy.
Phil is wearing green. I'm wearing red. We are very on point for the Mosaic issues that we discussed tonight.
Wait, Kona, you got the beer, man. You should have been wearing a Santa hat or something.
I know.
Ho, ho, ho. This episode brought to you by Matt Kona. Ho, ho.
I'm the least festive. I'm so sorry.
He doesn't celebrate Christmas. He celebrates Festivus.
The airing of the grievances? Is that
Let me tell you what kind of problem I have with you people. All right. So like I said, cliffhanger. So next time, we'll kind of wrap this up with Green Lantern Mosaic 13 through 15. They're so cool. Oh, Lord. Then in 2 weeks, Green Lantern 37 and Guy Gardner 5 through 7. It's all Guy Gardner because he shows up in Green Lantern 37. It's the football one, Will.
Okay, I don't remember that one either. Here we go.
All right, so send your thoughts on any of those, and remember, Emerald Twilight is always fast approaching. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Sector 2814 on Facebook, Twitter. Find links to all of the various social medias for all of our shows, links to this YouTube channel, links to the Patreon, where hopefully every 3 months we're going to be doing the quarterly annual podcast. Links to merch, links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And please remember, support our sponsor. Well, not sponsors, but go support the Southgate Media Group. Go check out southgatemediagroup.com. Go check out the Southgate Media Group Patreon with a bunch of free and paid content. And you can also support the Southgate Media Group by picking up Pod Life, the book, now digital and paperback. Get that on Amazon, and when you do, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that omnipotent man just taking a tour, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom.
I get so much right. Mark my words.
All right, Matt Kona, where can people talk annuals or Christmas?
Or quarterlies or giants, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can Venmo me $2.50, which is the traditional, my old school annual price. I'm around at Matt Kona. I'll do some stuff. MATTKONA. Today I posted a video on Instagram of my dog being dragged by another dog because she had bit onto her collar and held on. And she held on for a while, so check that out. But otherwise, I don't know. I'll be productive eventually, but it's hot. I'm sweating. The yin to Darkhawk's yang.
So yes, at Matt Kona for dog fighting videos, kids.
Yeah.
Slow down. We need this for drops.
All right, Will Allred.
You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail or Twitter or Facebook, probably Instagram. Although I don't think I've logged in there in months, but it's all those social media places. You can also find Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com, and there's a link to the upcoming Kickstarter, which will be launching on Thursday for Crossover Division number 2.
Nice.
So cool. Also, if you're interested in my work, Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. It also has a link to the Kickstarter for Crossover Division number 2 on it, so I'm cross-pollinating, kind of, anyway. And obviously you have great taste in comic characters, so you probably love Quasar, so go check out the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org, for all kinds of really cool stuff about Quasar.
5 inches, maybe?
He goes limp in my grip.
All right, kids. Join us next week. You know you want to. It's a cliffhanger. More Mosaic fun. Know how Jordan wants to be untangling himself from those Christmas things. But, we even sang Carol proposes to him. Modern fiction, if someone gets proposed to or, it's going to come to a bad end. Get married in space. All right, kids, come back next time. Remember, every time, tip your tour guide.
Yes.
Hey everyone, this is Brian, the host of Inner Demons, the Ghost Rider podcast. And since 2017, Inner Demons has been the best place on the web for news, reviews, and regular discussion with our listeners about Marvel's Spirit of Vengeance, Ghost Rider. You can find us on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and many other podcast catchers, as well as on Twitter at InnerDemonsGR. Remember, listening to your inner demons is not always a bad thing. Ride on.